Welcome to you, the chosen one. The light has led you here again today. Please listen carefully to what I have to say now. I have an urgent message to convey to you today, and this message is not for everyone. If you do not walk God's holy path, or if your heart does not align with the truth, you will feel uncomfortable and leave this place. However, if you are truly the chosen one, if you are a sincere follower of God, you will remain here. This is because this message has been guided to reach you at the most perfect timing. This is by no means a coincidence. Heaven has arranged this meeting. The story I am about to share will completely change the way you understand yourself and the way you interpret the events you've experienced. This message will bring clarity, serenity, and strength to your soul. Many of you are likely already feeling it. People are looking at you longer than usual. Their gaze lingers on you, but their mouths remain tightly shut. They stare at you but say nothing. And this leaves you wondering why. By the time this message concludes, you will understand the spiritual reason hidden behind that silence and will no longer doubt yourself. Please stay with me until the end, as there is an important story that will bring deep peace to your heart. If this story deeply resonates with your soul, please let me know by leaving the number 44 in the comments below. This simple act is a declaration that you are under divine protection and are in complete alignment with what God is doing in your life. Second story, the invisible mark. The reason your presence changes the air of space. You, the chosen one, please calm your mind for a moment and listen to my words calmly. What you are experiencing is neither a random coincidence nor a psychological illusion. A mark is engraved upon you that is invisible to human eyes but deeply felt by you. God leaves an invisible mark on those He has chosen. It is not a mark of pride or superiority, but a mark of mission. This mark is not loud. It does not reveal itself or shout. It does not demand attention jabardasti, yet it carries a distinct weight. And whenever that sense of weight enters a space, the surrounding atmosphere changes. That is why you can feel people's gazes turning toward you simply by quietly stepping into a place. You said nothing. You did not behave in a particularly peculiar way. Yet, when you arrived, something in that space changed. People do not always look at you out of admiration. Sometimes they stare at you because their inner world has been shaken. Your presence shatters the patterns they had become accustomed to. You bring order into chaos without effort, and tranquility into noise without striving. This is not something you learned somewhere. It is something God has forged within you over a long period of time through pressure, solitude, and silence. Your presence speaks to you long before your mouth opens. Before you utter a single word, something within you is already communicating. It speaks of honesty, self-control, and depth. Many people are not accustomed to being with someone who does not pour their anxiety into the room. Most people enter a space harboring a desire to be acknowledged, noticed, and approved. They speak quickly. They have tried to excuse and explain themselves. Fearing that silence might reveal their true selves, they strive to fill that void. But you are different. You find comfort in remaining in stillness, even when you are not consciously aware of it. You are firmly grounded in the way. and that low state evokes a strange tension in those living emotionally unstable lives. That is why people often stare intently at you in the silence. They are trying to grasp you. They attempt to fit you into categories they can understand. However, you do not fit into their ordinary boxes. You are not light enough to be ignored, not weak enough to be excessive, nor easy enough to be controlled carelessly. Therefore, they simply observe you. You are the chosen one. This is crucial for your healing. The silence you face is not a rejection, nor is it rudeness. It is a form of acknowledgement mixed with uncertainty. Your soul possesses a unique authority that does not seek permission. And that authority makes people pause. It makes them hold back their words and become cautious, even when they are consciously unaware of the reason. There are people who intuitively sense that they see more than you say and understand more than you reveal. The mere awareness of this fact can make people feel uneasy. When they realize they cannot easily grasp you, people instinctively slow their actions. They watch, and they fall silent. This is not because you threaten them, but because they feel as though something inside them has been stripped bare in your presence. Stop shrinking back to make others feel comfortable. You do not need to dilute what God has given you. Nor do you need to pretend to be small so that others can relax. The discomfort you cause is not cruelty, it is merely a clear contrast. Light never apologizes for revealing what darkness tried to hide. This invisible sign also attracts the attention of those who are spiritually starved. Some stare at you because they feel safe in your presence. Even if they do not know the reason, your calmness stabilizes their hearts. Some look at you, feeling judged by their own conscience rather than by you. Others simply gaze at you because they have recognized a truly strong man who needs no effort to prove himself. You must learn how to remain peaceful within that reality. You have no obligation to explain to anyone why you live with such an attitude. God molded you intentionally. He allowed pressure to refine you, silence to mature you, and misunderstanding to make you strong. And now, whenever you enter a space, the traces of that refining enter with you. You do not intimidate because you are aggressive. You move people's hearts because you are deeply rooted. You are not noticed for your ideals. You are noticed because you are rare. In a broken world, your unwavering stability feels unfamiliar to many. The invisible mark you possess also serves to protect you. It creates distance without hostility. I suggest someone you can approach without you forcibly blocking them. The seed did not create you to be easily permitted to just anyone. Some doors naturally get hurt simply because your very existence reminds them that they cannot manipulate you arbitrarily. You do not need to fix this, nor do you need to soften it. Approaching people more easily does not need to lower your standards or cloud your insight. What has been placed within you is thoroughly intentional. It will attract those who should approach and push away those who should not be kept nearby. So the next time you feel someone's gaze, breathe calmly. Do not be tense. Do not doubt yourself. Do not rush to fill that silence. Let them observe. Let them feel whatever rises within them exactly as it is. Your mission is not to manage their reactions. Your mission is solely to remain aligned with God's will. Third story. When soul recognizes soul, and when fear is silent, please breathe very slowly when you, the chosen one, listen to the part. This is because this is the very point where many misunderstandings finally melt away. Not all the gazes you receive stem from confusion. Some gazes come from recognizing you. And when that recognition mixes with fear, silence is often created. There exists a dimension where the soul recognizes the soul before the mind can even explain the situation. This recognition requires no language. No introduction is needed. When meeting certain people, it happens very quietly, deeply, and immediately. Something within them senses that you are not an ordinary person, even if they cannot explain in words what makes you different. And the moment they sense something, they pause. Many people live merely by reacting rather than by discerning. Therefore, when they suddenly feel something they cannot control or explain, they freeze. And that freezing often manifests as silence. They are looking at you as they process what their soul has sensed, but which their mind has failed to classify. I hope you clearly understand this fact. When one recognizes another soul, it transcends reason. It does not wait for anyone's approval. It simply knows. And that fact, realized without understanding, creates hesitation in those who are not spiritually mature. They feel awe, but do not know why. They sense authority, but cannot utter its name. They recognize its weight, but have no point of reference to comprehend it. That is why some people feel anxious around you, even though you have not given them any provocation. This is not because of your words or actions. It is because of the frequency you emit. Your soul operates on a completely different dimension, and that dimension shakes up their familiar relationship patterns. If this story resonates with you right now, please take a moment to express your agreement. Like this video, and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss future messages specially created for the chosen ones like you. Fear also plays a role here. It is not the fear of being harmed, but the fear that one's true self will be exposed. Those who live hiding behind a mask instinctively sense that you see through their pretense. People accustomed to manipulating others feel that you cannot control them. Those who evade the truth notice that you naturally harbor the truth. All of this creates discomfort within them, which manifests as silence. You have likely noticed this pattern as well. Some people are drawn to you, while others withdraw without explanation. Those who withdraw are not necessarily your enemies. They are simply not on the same frequency as you. Their souls have realized that your presence demands honesty, truthfulness, and depth, but they are not yet ready to form a relationship at that level. Here, I would like to speak kindly to your heart. You are not obligated to comfort others for the discomfort they feel while facing the truth. Nor are you obligated to diminish yourself to make others feel bigger. God gave you a special spiritual frequency for a purpose, and that purpose includes shattering the comfort of those who have become trapped in a prison. When a soul recognizes another soul, it also reveals people's true intentions. Some people remain silent because they know their ulterior motives will not survive before your insight. Some are silent while calculating how to approach you. Still others wait in silence to verify whether you are as unwavering and solid as you appear. Silence becomes a test. And you pass that test by remaining undisturbed. You, the chosen one. You must let go of the desire to interpret every glance. You must also abandon the compulsion to justify every silence. Not everything requires your analysis. Some events are merely evidence that God has given you something that others feel but cannot fully understand, and that alone is sufficient. This spiritual discernment also works in reverse. There are people you too recognize a soul at first sight. Being with them makes you feel immediately safe, or conversely, makes you wary for no apparent reason. That is your soul communicating. Trust that sensation. Do not dismiss it with logic. Do not suppress that intuition for the sake of wanting to be a kind person. Discernment is not unkindness. It is what protects you. Understanding this spiritual discernment changes everything. It means that the tension you feel in a certain space is never an illusion. It means that when you feel someone is not truthful, you are not in a bloody delusion. It means that intuitively keeping your distance from someone who appears friendly on the surface is not the result of being trapped in your own thoughts. Your soul is reading frequencies that your mind has not yet organized into language. Many of the chosen have been gaslighted to doubt their own discernment. When you were discerning properly, people said you were prejudiced. When you were protecting yourself, they said you were cold. Even though setting boundaries is the kindest thing you can do for yourself and others, they branded you as unkind every time you set boundaries. However, there is something you must remember. Your ability to sense what others do not feel is not a flaw. It is a special function. It is part of your spiritual structure. The more you respect it rather than making excuses for it and pushing it away, the stronger that ability becomes. When a soul recognizes another soul, it cuts through all the noise and goes straight to the truth. And that truth will set you free. The fourth story, the weight of silence. What it teaches you about yourself. You, the chosen one, please try shifting your perspective for a moment. The silence you thought was merely oppression imposed upon you is actually a gift given to you. Through the silence of others, God teaches you lessons you could not learn in any other way. Silence teaches you how to stand on your own. When people do not acknowledge you, you stop craving external validation. When people do not explain themselves, you stop trying to control their gaze. When people do not approach you, you learn how to be whole without their intervention. Silence removes the crutch of the approval of others and allows you to stand tall solely by your own spiritual strength. Many of you have been conditioned to believe that silence means something is wrong. You have learned to think that if people do not speak, you must have committed some mistake that has offended them. You have been trained to fill that quiet space with apologies, excuses, or behaviors designed to please others. However, through this time, God is breaking those habits of yours. Silence also teaches you discernment. Only when you are not distracted by the spirit of ceaseless conversation do you begin to notice patterns. You come to see who approaches with genuine intentions. You learn who hovers around only when they need something. You figure out who respects your boundaries and who tries to test them. Silence gives you the space to observe without any interference. Take this to heart. Silence is not a punishment. It is a preparation process. God is training you to exert a positive influence without being swayed by other things. He is tempering you to move forward with authority, without constant support and encouragement. He is training you to find contentment in solitude, so that when you are among people, you never cling to the attention of others. There is a deep maturity that only silence can produce. When you let go of the desire for others to speak up, you hear the voice of God more clearly. When you stop trying to fill every gap with help, you begin to notice the true truth that the noise had been obscuring. Only when you stop acting for the approval of others do you begin to move toward the true purpose of life. Your silence, as the chosen one, has also revealed to you a very powerful truth: who truly cares for you. The people who silently stood by your side even when you were quiet, those who did not constantly pry for reasons, and those who respected your process even without fully understanding your situation, those are your true people. Silence has filtered out all the others. I will speak slowly, so that this may seep deep into your heart. This silence surrounding you now is making room for the voices that will enter your life in the future. God is clearing the room. He is clearing away the distractions. God is protecting you from relationships that are too ripe to slow down what He is building within you. Fifth story. There is something you must understand about yourself. The power you possess, unknowingly, the chosen one. The power you possess is not something you created yourself. It was planted within you and was growing quietly without you fully noticing. This is why people react before you even open your mouth. This is why the atmosphere of a space changes simply by your presence. Power does not always make itself known aloud. In fact, true power rarely puts itself forward. True power does not need a loud voice. It does not need the recognition of others. It simply exists, and its very existence is enough to be felt by people. You have quietly held on to this power. Many of you likely did not even realize this fact until the people around you began to react to you. The gazes you receive are not always merely out of simple curiosity. Sometimes they are gazes seeking to commit adultery and judge you. People are unconsciously assessing whether you will be a threat or an ally, whether you will shake their comfort or strengthen it, whether they can control you or act completely independently. And all of this happens before a single word is spoken. Quietly reflect on this truth. You make people think twice. You make people reconsider their ways. You make people become self-aware in a way different from their usual behavior. It is never arrogance. It is simply the natural ripple created by someone who possesses genuine substance in a world full of pretense. Your strength also lies in your self-control. You do not need to prove anything. You do not need to constantly defend yourself. You do not need to explain your choices to people who will not understand anyway. It is that very self-control that distinguishes you from those who act as if they have power but actually have none. You, the chosen one, have feared the strength you possess. You have been taught that becoming powerful is synonymous with being intimidating. You have been told that being overflowing with confidence will make you look arrogant. You have been conditioned to believe that you must become small so that others can appear big. However, God is now shattering that false belief. Your power is not meant to be hidden. It is meant to be used correctly and governed. It is at this point that many of the chosen ones struggle. You suppress the abilities God has amplified for you because you do not want to make others uncomfortable. You blend into the crowd because you do not want to turn on your power. You diminish your own value because you do not want to appear arrogant. However, none of these actions serve the will of heaven. They are merely acts of submitting to fear. Let me make this clear. The power you possess is not meant to dominate. It is meant to save. It is not meant to control. It is meant to embrace. It is not meant to show off. It is meant to serve. However, if you constantly apologize and feel sorry about the strength you possess, you can never serve powerfully. People will always offer their opinions on your power. Some will praise you, some will fear you, and some will try to diminish your power. However, your job is not to manage their reactions. Your only job is to silently obey the calling God has given you to be genie. Sixth story. Why you have no obligation to explain to anyone, you, the chosen one. I want to speak directly to that inner heart of yours that feels an obligation to explain things to someone right now. That heart that feels guilt when people misunderstand you. That heart that wants to clarify, justify, and defend your choices. I hope you lay down that heavy burden right now. You have no obligation to explain to anyone how God is working in your life. You have no obligation to disclose your process to others. You do not need to explain every single one of your decisions in detail. Some things must remain only between you and God, and that boundary is very sacred. Many people have been trained to believe that silence means secrecy, and secrecy means shame. Therefore, you explain too much. You share more than is necessary. You pour out every detail to those who are not worthy to enter your inner world. However, every time you do so, the very boundary God commanded you to establish crumbles. Silence is not about hiding something. It is about protection. It protects your peace from unnecessary interference. It protects your vision from hasty criticism. It protects your energy from those who try to argue about what God has already confirmed. I hope you understand one very powerful fact. If you stop making excuses for yourself, people will no longer consider demanding explanations as an inherent right. If you stop defending your choices, people will stop attacking them. If you stop craving the approval of others, people will stop using approval as a weapon to control you. This does not mean you become cold or heartless. It means you become wisely discerning. You share only with those you have proven to be trustworthy. You open your heart only to those who respect what you show. You explain only to those who sincerely wish to understand you, not as a weapon to attack you. There is immense freedom in letting your chosen people simply be curious. There is great power in leaving their curiosity unsatisfied. There is deep wisdom in cherishing certain things until the appropriate time comes. Jesus also said, not to cast pearls before swine. Not all realizations must be consumed by the masses. Those destined to walk with you will understand you without you having to explain in great detail. Those destined to support you will trust your process even if they cannot see the whole picture. Those who share the will of your mission will not try to enter your world as they please, but will respect your boundaries. And here is the truly beautiful truth. When you stop explaining, the things that exhaust you disappear. You stop wasting energy on conversations that reach no conclusion. You stop repeating the same words to those who have no intention of understanding in the first place. You will finally regain your peace. So the next time someone stares at you in silence, do not rush to fill that awkwardness. Let them sit there, harboring their curiosity. Let them process their confusion on their own. Let them wonder. You have no obligation to convince everyone. Your only duty is to obey God's will. Seventh story. Change is approaching. Before long, their words will change. Please listen to the part concerning you, the chosen one, with a calm heart. This is because this is the very place where tension dissipates and hope blossoms. The silence you are experiencing is not eternal. It is a season, and every season designed by God has an expiration date. Change is approaching, and you are likely already feeling the flow quietly forming beneath the surface. Those who have been silently watching you will not remain silent forever. It is not because your existence is changing. This is because God will complete what He has been molding within you, and finally, clarity will take the place of slander. Right now, many people do not know what to say to you. This is because they have not yet understood where you belong. They sense your potential, depth, and direction, but these have not yet fully manifested in a visible form. People speak confidently only about what they can clearly define. They remain silent in the face of what is still unfolding. However, a blooming flower cannot be hidden forever. The moment will come when the process of preparation becomes clearly visible on the surface. When your unchangingness becomes an undeniable fact, and the quiet power you have harbored begins to bear visible fruit, then people's attitudes and tone of voice will change completely. Those who looked on cautiously will begin to speak with respect. Those who kept their distance will approach seeking advice. Those who underestimated you will retract their words. This is not because you are forcing this upon yourself. It is because your truth is tender. You, the chosen one. This is precisely how God protects you from hasty praise or premature criticism. If people had spoken too soon, their opinions would have altered your appearance. If they had judged too early, their misunderstandings would have frustrated you. Silence has kept you free until heaven finished that work. I hope this fact brings deep comfort to your heart. The silence you are currently experiencing is proof that your life is at a stage where it cannot yet be easily explained to others, and this is truly a great blessing. God is still writing your story. He is protecting it from being damaged by minimizing unnecessary intervention. Many of you have reached the point of being recognized much sooner than you think. However, that recognition does not come loudly at first. It comes as subtle changes, the change in the way people look at you, the change in their attitude toward you, and those fleeting moments of hesitation before speaking. It is a pause that wells up, not from fear, but from respect. It is at this very moment that silence changes its nature. The silence that once felt uncomfortable transforms into a silence of listening that now pays attention to you. If you sense that this change is beginning in your life, declare it. Leave the number 444 in the comments below to let the universe know that you are ready to enter this new season with clarity, confidence, and divine alignment. How will you know that this change has arrived? You will realize it only when you no longer feel the need to interpret every single reaction of others, when peace settles in the place of analysis, and when you are no longer curious about what others are thinking and become free from that gaze. God never raises up chaos. God raises stability, and it takes time for that stability to be observed. Those who were not destined to walk with you in the first place will gradually drift away as clarity grows. On the other hand, those whose frequency matches yours will very naturally come toward you. You do not need to force them to gather. God will arrange that meeting. This is precisely the time to guard your heart with humility. When people begin to speak differently about you, do not let pride take the place of peace. The approval of others cannot be the goal itself. The goal is proper alignment. Recognition is merely a natural byproduct obtained as a result of walking in silent obedience for a long time. Some of you will see people who once ignored you now seeking your opinion. You will see people who used to interrupt you and speak only of themselves now quietly listening to you. People who used to avoid you will now ask what you think. That change does not mean you are superior to them. It is the result of the trust you have built through consistency. Do not rush this change. Do not force conversation. Do not boast aloud about your growth. Let it reveal itself naturally. God knows exactly when it is safest to reveal Himself to the world. For you, the chosen one, the next season will be much lighter. Not because life becomes easier, but because your inner world becomes much stronger. You will come to open your mouth only when absolutely necessary, remain quiet when silence is wise, and move gracefully without anxiety. The gazes staring at you will diminish. Confusion will subside, and silence will evolve into clarity. And finally, when people open their mouths, everything will be different. Their tone will change, their posture will shift, and even if they do not fully understand you, their words will be filled with respect for you. At that moment, you will realize a very powerful truth. All this silence was never given to make me doubt myself. It was a process preparing me to bear the weight of the time when the world listens to my voice. Be patient. Remain on the sacred path. Do not waver. Stand firm. Change is coming. And when that change finally arrives, you will notice it in peace, not in noise. Conclusion of the 8th story. Remain still. God will guide you. You, the chosen one, are allowed to rest your mind here for a moment. Everything you are currently experiencing has a name, a purpose, and a sacred reason. People stare at you silently, not because you are lacking, strange, or failing. They gaze at you because of the profound power within you. That depth and weight always bring the flow of space to a halt and slow it down. There is no need to struggle to elicit words from those who are wandering, unable to even understand who they are. God surrounded you in silence to nurture your soul and strengthen it without interruption. By allowing people to watch you without explanation, He allowed you to learn inner stability, self-control, and unwavering spiritual authority. No time you have spent has been in vain. Remember this clearly. You are never late. You are not lagging behind. You have not been overlooked. You are being prepared right now, and this process of preparation often appears merely quiet to the eyes of the outside world. You do not need to change your true self to be accepted by others. You do not need to explain every single thing God is doing within you. You do not need to react to every gaze, nor fill the gaps in every silence. Your mission is now simple. Align yourself without wavering. Root yourself deeply and become firm. Be still and remain. God is taking care of conversations that are not yet ready for you to handle. God is closing the mouths of those who would open their mouths too soon. He is protecting you from the noise that would shatter your peace. Believe that fact. Before I conclude this story, you, the chosen one. If this message has resonated with your soul, please do one thing for me. Please press like so that this video can reach other chosen ones who absolutely need to hear it. If you are not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you do not miss upcoming messages specially prepared for your spiritual journey. Please also share this video with a loved one who needs a clear realization today. Finally, declare the number 444 by leaving it in the comments. It is a firm declaration that you are divinely protected, spiritually aligned, and walking calmly within the mission given to you. Let that number be a signal to the universe and to yourself. Let it be known that you are ready to accept your true self, created by God, without feeling apologetic or intimidated. Remain still. You, the chosen one. God is doing things far greater than what you can see right now. That silence is not a rejection. It is guidance to a new path. Those gazes are not judgment. They are recognizing your light. The change you have long awaited has already begun. Walk in peace. Walk in strength. Walk toward your purpose. You are now in the most perfect place where you belong. Together we will rise toward the light.